And we are live in the next episode of umbraCoffee, episode number 177. And we are joined today by the amazing Umbraco HQ representation, Trine and Arnold from different locations. So hello everyone, how are you guys doing?
Hello.
Yeah,
Doing quite
fine.
good here. Yeah.
Again, we should have an intro playing here and just replicating everything what we are always saying, that it was an extremely busy week. Community was also busy. A lot of links to be shared again.
I saw a video of someone who worked, I think, for BuzzFeed or something, and he recorded loops of himself sitting in meetings and then virtually attended meetings for an entire week. So like the same response that you give every single week, where it's like, yeah, no updates from me. I need to have a clip, and he'd just play it and sit there drinking coffee. Maybe we can do that with UmbraCoffee, given
that's right,
at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, we are here to discuss various things which are upcoming and which happened in Umbraco week. But we have a great team representation here who is constantly working and preparing and doing whatever can be done to make the upcoming biggest event in Umbraco sphere happen and run smoothly. And of course, the Codegarden it is. So before we will dive into the details, how it's going, how it's all organized. Trine, you are in the HQ. How it's seen from the HQ perspective right now? Because of course, usual every year it was like a madness. Is it the same this year?
I think it's a bigger madness than usual, actually. Well, this is my second Codegarden, because 2020 was supposed to be my second Codegarden, but it got cancelled. So this is my second Codegarden. And we are really busy. We are working long days, many hours to keep up. I think we had some bumps on the way, also things we didn't expect it. So yeah, we are really, really busy at this moment. But we'll get there, and it will be super, super awesome. And we're looking forward to not next week, but the week after. It's just around the corner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy to think that you're more stressed when you've only got a few people coming into Unza to actually make the event happen.
Than hundreds, right?
Yeah, than hundreds.
And it's actually weird to think that way, but yeah, I felt like in 19 it was not that stressed, even though that we have a lot of guests, and I also needed to handle like speakers, hotel bookings, and so on. And I don't handle that this year, but we have new tasks to handle, and other stuff to do. So yeah, we are quite busy.
Yeah, we're running more of a production than that you run a conference, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have it online events. So.
I was going to ask you, Arnold, because it's your first Codegarden when you are in the HQ team officially. That's correct?
Yeah, because last year was of course cancelled. So then, yeah.
And how's your experiences from previous years? But you were running that Dutch conference online as well. So probably there's a lot of things which can be I don't know, shift and shared as when it comes to the knowledge and lessons learned from there, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's mainly also my role in our team. We are a team of three actually of HQ. So Trine, Ilham, and myself who run this event, and of course everyone else or a lot of our colleagues are involved as well. But we are the core team of this. And yes, of course, experience with DF20 really helps, and also to make decisions, and also what to do differently than with DF20, because it still needs to be different and new, that it's not just the exact same thing.
Yeah, we both were speaking at DF20, so it was amazing then already. So we are all looking forward to what is going to happen in the next week. But you've mentioned your colleagues, and I think it's a good way to jump to what we've seen this week. And it was a promotional video, a teaser, promoting the Umbraco. And if anyone is watching right now, and we know you do, let us know if you can hear it and if you watch it already. And after I will hear yes, we can watch it, because it's just 1 minute, and it's always good to remind it for ourselves. But people, Aaron, Rick, if you are watching us, let me know if you can hear the audio in background. I can hear it.
Are you here for all of us? Because I can't hear it.
We can't hear it at all. So I guess it's.
I can almost hear just because I watched it so many times that it's stuck in my head.
Oh,
yeah, no sound confirmed.
Damn it.
But yeah, it's a really good snapshot. I think it gets the kind of friendly vibe of the in-person Codegardens across really nicely, and hopefully that can be replicated. And if this is anything to go by, it will be. I was going to say as well, what great actors Shanice and Mike are. Who knew?
Yeah, we are very impressed with some of our colleagues, because
Yes.
there's more where this came from. And joining on Codegarden, the whole event, if you want to see more of this kind of videos. But yeah, we're quite impressed. We even said, like, well, maybe we should go to acting instead of coding, because
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was really impressed. As I said before we went live, and it looks pro. The quality is awesome. That's also what from our, let's say, video involved people perspective, it's like the quality is awesome. And of course, again, the subtitles, accessibility for everyone who also, like us previously here, didn't hear the sound. It's just great to see that, and great to see more, and great to know that there's more upcoming videos like that. And yeah, I remember one conference in Poland, and it was in my hometown. It was called Programistok, and every year they were recording a promotional video which was getting them the full traction of the event, and it was viral. Every year they were involving the regional people from villages, grandmas talking about conferences and technologies as a promotional videos, and other crazy stuff year after year. And I see that this is going in kind of good direction, and also for people who don't know Mike and other team members, it was also good to see that it's crazy, and even if you know the team members, it's even more crazier then. So I'm again curious what is going to happen next.
we're not going to tell you more, because it should be a surprise, and you should watch Codegarden. So
Yeah, or private links after the live session. But speaking about the event itself, just to remind it again, it's a yearly. How maybe if we have you here, how you would describe the Codegarden for anyone who maybe don't know what it is? Arnold.
should I describe it? Oh wow, it's the yearly event of Umbraco, where you will learn everything that has been going on and everything that will be going on. But that's not what Codegarden really is about. Well, for me, not. I mean, for me, I think the in-person event, I mean, this year it will be different, but the in-person event is all about meeting people, talking to people, all fellow Umbraco enthusiasts, and just enjoy being part of this community. And that can be done in many ways, with always a bit of a crazy twist here and there. So yeah, it's a great event where you can learn a lot, and you meet a lot of people, and it's really worth it to come to Denmark for it. But yeah, online it will be different. I mean, yeah, and I think that the main challenge this year is as well that usually when you go to Denmark, you have certain expectations, or you are there and you experience the atmosphere, you experience the people around you, and then you can be, it's easier to understand the humor and all of that. And now we have a worldwide audience that would normally never come to Denmark, probably doesn't even know where Umbraco is coming from, or wouldn't even be able to travel. And we have to accommodate them as well in the program, in how this all is working out. No, I mean, on a normal Codegarden, we had stuff like Navy logs and stuff on the side. I mean, it's hard to do that online. Although maybe you should watch the pre-party on Wednesday evening.
A lot of teasers.
Yeah, and Trine, from your perspective, what would be your highlight? You've attended the 2019. It was your first one, right?
Yes.
What would be your highlight from person who joined the team and experienced it for the first time, and the last time in person? In this alignment?
Yes, well, it's a lot like Arnold said. It's the whole feeling and the whole engagement from people, people meeting new people and talking to new people, and yeah, just the feeling of being together and meeting new people. Also the chance to meet HQ people and to talk to HQers and to learn about the company. And yeah, all the things going on in between the sessions. it's difficult to explain also when people ask me, so what is Codegarden and what is it all about? I actually think it's hard to explain that feeling because it's such a special vibe and a special atmosphere that's just, you need to experience it to understand like how awesome it is.
You both recognize that this year's not going to be the same, and I don't think anyone would expect it to be. But a key thing you mentioned there, of course, was community. So maybe you could share a little bit about what you're doing for the virtual event to try and keep the community engaged and still have some form of community feel.
Well, we're trying different aspects. First of all, at day 0, which is the first day, we're trying to have some engagement part in our pre-party so that people feel engaged and so they feel they are part of something. So, for example, we will have some breakout sessions where people can actually meet other attendees and just to get a feeling of who is actually a part of the pre-party and a part of Codegarden. Other than that, we have a whole platform behind the schedule, so there will be the possibility to actually chat and interact with other attendees, meanwhile watching sessions. So I think we're trying to, in different ways, to get the community to actually chat and interact with each other while watching different sessions.
Nice.
And also interact with HQ people, because we will have breakout sessions where you can meet different HQ people, development team, a suits team, whatever. So we have options for that as well.
Yeah, so like at normal Codegarden, you have the chance to actually interact with HQ people. We also try to actually have that at the virtual Codegarden. So like Arnold said, we will have breakout rooms for D team and SWAT and for our suits department. So you actually have the chance to connect with some of our colleagues.
And when you've mentioned that, Callum, at the beginning, I thought that community is kind of also a way to help in that, because we all missed what it was. And we know that it won't be the same, but I think it's a general legacy in people's hands right now to try to remember and remind to the newcomers how it can be when it all will be the same.
Yes.
It's tough because, but again, I remember last year when Mark Goodson and other people were sharing the tweets and crazy pictures from the airports and Odens and all the fancy locations which were easier to recognize for people who were there. And I'm more than sure that it will be the same this year, and people just can help to bring this vibe, even if tools cannot do that or won't be a full replication of what it can be. So. Call to action for the community members is to help again in kind of sharing the vibe, because the vibe will be maybe more behind the scenes. And one thing which we can mention here is like there was a blog post inviting all of the people to organize a smaller watch events, right? I can't remember the name of that. Can you remember?
Viewing party.
Viewing parties.
Viewing parties. Yes, that was that. That might help. I think that might help teams, offices, smaller communities, and meetup groups can just meet up and watch it.
I saw this week, Arnold, that you're going to do one in the Netherlands.
Yeah, so for the Dutch Umbraco user group, we booked a cinema, and actually already quite a few weeks back. And at that point, we weren't able to have an event in the cinema at the 10th of June. But yesterday or the day before, the Dutch government announced that cinemas will be open the 5th of June. So now we could go ahead with our event. And of course, for now, we can only host 30 people, but we have a big cinema screen where you can watch Codegarden on together from everyone in the Netherlands. So there's a small fee involved because you get lunch and dinner, but the venue itself is paid by the sponsors. Yeah.
Is it just on the Thursday, or is it?
We decided upon just a Thursday, mainly because then there's the keynote of HQ, and most of the HQ sessions are there. And we thought like maybe people don't want to sit in the cinema for 2 days, might be a bit much. Although you could have a different group.
Umbraco marathon.
And also, you've got 2 streams of talks on the Friday, so it'd be very difficult to pick and choose. It's like the kind of the fights that people have in the bar. Like, can we change to this sports game or something?
Yeah. So actually, we had so many good sessions submitted that first we said, well, let's do just one track, because also during DF20 we had just one track, and it helped really well, because then talking about community, everybody is watching the same thing and everybody is experiencing the same thing. So you can have a much bigger community feeling because of this. But we had so many great sessions submitted that we had to put a second track on day 2.
Nice, yeah, because we discussed this a few weeks back on umbraCoffee
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it feeling like, at least from a outsider's perspective, there was very little pattern to why certain sessions were on day 1 in the single track and day 2. So maybe you can explain a bit about how the schedule was put together.
So we make blocks of the schedule. So you have 4 sessions, and then there's an unconference, and the unconference itself is all the speakers in the sessions won't do Q&A during their sessions. So you have your full session time to talk about your session, about your subject, and then people can ask questions on the platform, but they will be answered in the unconference. So there will be a host, will be a person hosting the unconference and interacting with the speakers, and the speakers can interact with each other and answer all the questions that have been asked during their sessions. So we try to group blocks of the same type of content, and we try to do all the HQ content on day 1. So for people who are just interested in HQ content, again, like we have a different audience than before, can book the full Thursday afternoon and evening for Codegarden, and maybe skip a bit of Friday. We see that happen.
So those unconference sessions, that's a Q&A with all of the speakers that have been in that previous section, is it?
Yes.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah, that helps for the speakers as well to not expose it for issues in overrunning and also overlapping talks.
Yeah. Also, some of the sessions will be pre-recorded, so then it's easier also to handle it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
I see. Yeah, because of course
Friday,
the time zones largely align with Europe and a bit of the US, don't they? So I know people like Emmanuel, who's in Australia, is going to struggle to be up at whatever 3 in the morning.
Yeah, well, we still hope that he will be at the unconference.
Yeah.
And we still like him. I mean, it's one day a year that you have to stay up late. I mean, that's acceptable.
We've done
right?
it more than once, right? We've done it more than once in the past. But yeah, the Friday is very packed, and the full program, of course, is available online. I'm sharing it all in the meantime, and the links are going to be in the description, and they are publicly available. So yeah, everyone can choose whatever interests them the most. And yeah, let's organize ourselves as a community to help in spreading the news. And as usual, there will be probably a lot of interesting things revealed at the Codegarden, as it is usually. So yeah, let's see where it will go.
Yeah, and there's already so much going on. I mean, if you've seen the product update of this week, and it's already before Codegarden, so there's so much going on.
We will be talking about it in a second. So, but there was one more thing which brought us some good memories, and it was a picture shared by Marcin from 2 years ago when he was packing stuff for
tacos.
And of course, when you're watching when you're checking this picture, it's obvious that Marcin was preparing for the technological talk, right, for the conference, and that's obvious information by a look at this picture. And yeah,
he stuck around for about an hour afterwards, just making tacos for people.
Yeah, I ate a couple of them. They were same good as the talk content. So that's a multi-stream, multi-channel, multi-talented Marcin, and good memory about this talk. And yeah, let's dive to some news from outside of the Codegarden. You've mentioned the product update, and also, of course, we are following all of the upgrades and updates all the time, and this one was again packed, and it's hard. We were doing some predictions, Callum, right, a couple of weeks back, what can be revealed at Codegarden, what can be waiting till then, but it seems like there is a lot of things already just released because they are ready to be released and they are ready to be tested, and this is the beta 3, for example, for Umbraco 9, which I saw as well. People were testing and showing off. It works extremely smooth, fast, and it's hard to say, but it's kind of getting to be ready for being used production wise, and that's a good message, right?
It's really, really good for a beta standpoint already, and certainly now with beta 3, when we have examined fully cross-platform compatible, and also the speed. I mean, if you tested this, the speed is insane. And it's of course mainly due to moving to .NET Core, but also because of the optimizations that has been done in the code base as well.
Nice.
And I saw Warren asking questions on what people would like to see more when it comes to video content and tutorials about it. So I saw a couple of good replies there, and I believe that if Warren will tackle some of them, it will be extremely helpful for people to, from outside of Umbraco community, also to even run it on Linux servers or configure it somewhere outside of the normal setups known for us. So yeah, and yeah, it's good state. And as usual with betas, we are inviting everyone to test it out, report bugs, and help in making another version of it better. Simply.
And Callum, your commit is in there, right?
Yeah.
With the renaming of the
Marcin, whilst you were away last week, I awarded myself pull request of the week. This one.
That's how it rolls.
Yeah. No, but I made a pull request to rename the models build post, and there was some debate, and Bjarke went in and revised some of them. But
curated it.
Yeah, so we've got new models builder names now.
Nice.
Like Pure Live is not a thing anymore because what the heck even was that?
In-memory auto.
In-memory auto, and I think it's source code auto and source code generated or something are the options. But yeah, it just makes it make a bit more sense, I think.
Yeah. We were debating about it, so that's good that it passed. And another tools, another products are also updated constantly. New release of the forms, upcoming release of it's hard to say old Umbraco, but the current Umbraco 8. There's a new release candidate on Tuesday. Yeah,
coming out actually on Tuesday, and it's the shiny, sexy media picker edition with the nice new media picker, which is cool.
Sexy Media Picker is a code name of this release, unofficial code name.
Yep.
And status of the Umbraco cloud infrastructure, another update from Morten and the rest of the team, and updates to roadmap, which we want to focus for a while, because Media Picker, which you've mentioned, is going to be released, and tabs are in now, so we can expect them pretty soon.
I saw a little bit of discussion on Twitter about this, but I think this is quite interesting what's being done. So there's a screenshot or a video recording of what's being done for tabs, and it's not what I expected at all, and I'm quite interested. Yeah. So this is the idea that you could convert a group into tabs. Is that right, Arnold?
Yeah, so now you have the groups, and then you can create tabs, and then you can rearrange those groups that you have to different tabs. So you can go forward and backward with this. So it won't be breaking to anything you currently have, but you can improve using the tab infrastructure.
And have icons for different tabs as well, which is nice.
It has a lot of things that people have been asking for years, certainly since Umbraco 8 launch. So it's really good to see this.
So this is a tab with multiple groups in it. It's a tab icons. It's being able to properly, flexibly control kind of how your document types are structured, which is really sweet.
It's a kind of CMS for building a CMS content with drag and drop features here. That's amazing. And as a developer as developers who are working with Umbraco for ages, I think reminding how hard it was to arrange something in the tabs with a specific order, with a specific different order for different document types, and now seeing this is like a pure love spread across the future.
I do appreciate that it's not just a global turn tabs on or off type setting.
Yeah,
where
toggle.
Matryoshka, which has been the go-to solution for if you want tabs, has worked well, but there's just times where it doesn't make sense actually if you've got a few properties only. Two very small sections or something. Makes sense.
I think that the front end team is doing a really great job at improving small details with every release, and it just gets better and better and better.
There's something to add to that, which is, I mean, when tabs were removed, there wasn't a front end team. Let's be honest. So now you actually have one, and people dedicated, focused on the back office UI experience, etc. So that's a big change, and this is probably the start of us seeing those things come to fruition, isn't it?
I think it's very good that we are growing. We are growing quite a lot currently. As Umbraco, we see a lot of uptake, a lot of new colleagues. And that is also can be seen on Forms, for example, and deploy, but certainly also Forms, where Andy did an awesome job. And I actually now have a Dutch colleague at Umbraco since the 10th of May. So I think maybe discussed him with Ronald Barendse joined Andy's team and is also working on the CMS and on Forms. So we have more people available for that as well. So it will be even better in the coming months.
Nice.
Awesome. And if you've mentioned common future months, there is a lot of things which are new in the roadmap, and also what are planned to be working in the next phases. And again, UI component library, which we've mentioned before, which was demoed as well here on umbraCoffee, and also the definition of the APIs, which are the next step for replacing or improving the back office architecture and also code base behind the scenes, and implementation of this API layer, which is an output of the RFC and the whole discussion which was there. So yeah, that's a great stuff. And again, Codegarden is mentioned here as a checkpoint on the map to also have some kind of release and updates. And that's the wrap up of the product update. But one of the more in-depth descriptions was about also a release candidate for 8.14. Which is still the mostly used version of Umbraco. And if anyone is interested what's new there, if it's worth upgrading, when and how it can improve the development and also an editorial experience for users, Rune shared this update and a lot of great insights and videos on the changes. Callum, any favorite change from your perspective on 8.14?
The media picker. It's the media picker, of course.
Picker. Yeah, I was going to mention the same. The rest is fine, and we've got used to some very great updates.
Single block list mode is a winner as well. And it's funny, Marcin, you did a pull request ages ago, or tried to make nested content when you click create to have the name of the type you're creating, and it does it in the block list, which is awesome.
Yes,
so finally.
I tried to convince myself that it was an inspiration for this change, but it was so many years ago that's good to see that this improvements. And yeah, that's the release candidate 8 version, product update, package updates. There is an updated version of Plumber, version 1.6.2 from Nathan. So all the workflow lovers and implementers can take out this version and play with it. Some fixes, some improvements. And there's one more package which is which landed on my favorite list a while ago. After we've been dealing with some projects which that didn't allow us to play directly with some infrastructure and servers behind the scenes. And this is a Goat mode from Dan Booth, and it seems like it's coming to V9 pretty soon, which is amazing news for at least myself. I love this information.
It's interesting to see how many package developers already rolled out at least beta versions or first versions of their package for Umbraco 9. If you look at Umbraco 7 to 8, it took quite a while for package builders to catch up, and I think we're trying to do a lot to feel them ready and happy with investing time already for Umbraco 9, and it seems to pay off.
Yeah. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. All of us will be happy if there will be a solid package base when we will be switching to V9 with our projects and products. And that's from the package side. I have one question for you and for you, Trine and Arnold. Are you following any other events when it comes to inspirations right now for Codegarden and online phase of it?
I think we are following wherever we can just to get some inspiration. Especially, like for me, it is new to plan a virtual event, and that's why we also have Arnold on the team now, because he has some experience from the Dutch festival that we can use. But yeah, we get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different events.
Yeah, I'm asking because of course we kind of follow a lot of events in the various ecosystems, Microsoft related stuff and all that, and everyone is trying their best, right? So that's good to have lessons learned. And I know, Arnold, you've been doing a lot of also checks and validations when it comes to events when you were preparing the first one. And why I'm talking about it, why we wanted to talk about it, because there was a Microsoft Build event. this week. I don't know if you were following that, if you were watching, observing what happened there, but there was also an interesting keynote.
I was just going to say on that before we go into the thing we're going to discuss. They've kind of established a style of online events that's very noticeably Microsoft now, and it's packed full of. You can't ever decide what you want to see. They had over 300 sessions at this event, and they're trying to cater for developers, IT pros, people who maybe
ops.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of everyone, and they're obviously it's far broader than say Codegarden, but they very much nail the style of event, which is a lot of discussions, the table talk things, presentations, keep things to 30 minutes, give people variety and choice, and it's definitely a template that can be copied and stolen. But yeah, we were going to talk about the unkeynote that Scott Hanselman did, which was a really nice way of getting information across without it feeling like you were watching a boring keynote or something.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. And again, it's a different type of the video, right? Different type of the keynote. We should get used to it, and it's just pausing for me right now. So sorry for my internet connection.
I was actually
right
happy to see.
Yep.
So I was happy to see that Scott posted on Twitter that he said this looks very simple and easy, but it was a lot of work, maybe even more work than a normal keynote. So I was very happy that he posted it because it looks so easy and natural, but I can tell that there are a lot of planning.
It's very blatantly well planned and well scripted because they all. I mean, the timing of everything was perfect, so it can't have just been improvised, and it must have taken them at least a day to film that whole thing, at least.
If not more, to be honest.
I mean, we have experienced just shooting the for example, the teaser video, like how long it actually takes just to shoot something that is just 1 minute. So yeah, it takes really a lot of time and a lot of planning to shoot something that is really, really great.
We discussed this with Purnima when she came on last week. Of course, she's got her Microsoft case study video, which is 1.5 minutes, and they spent an entire day filming with her to get to that point. And then half of it's filled up with, snapshots of umbraCoffee episodes or scenes at a conference, that sort of thing. So yeah, incredible amount of effort must have gone into it. But it seems like you're doing some similar content for Codegarden.
We have a slightly lower budget though. Slightly lower budget on Microsoft. Slightly.
A little bit smaller company as well, but still growing, still aspiring to get to fight with the monsters. But I also wanted to mention that Scott Hanselman, of course, is a very experienced speaker, and it's like speakers are for me sometimes and actors as well who are performing on stages and doing some kind of live theater acts, but in the tech industry in this case. And it's like it's just this proves that it can be done the other way. It can be always better, and yeah, we can all learn from that and inspire ourselves as well when it comes to providing knowledge and content and stuff. And also even recording this video is not enough because we see how Microsoft is promoting that how big impact isn't to promote stuff, which is awesome, and we know it's awesome, and that's why I think it's worth to remembering and reminding about events like that, Codegarden as well, all the time, because people still need to know it, still need to find it, still need to watch it, and then implement it ideally in their projects to make it count. Right, that's the case. But one thing from Build which I wanted to mention, and that's my personal highlight, and from technical perspective, something what will blow our minds. It's Power Apps integration with AI-powered assistants based on the GPT-3. And it's technology which can convert a language, speech basically, into a code in this preview feature. So I was writing an email last week about a title that programmers no longer needed. So this just came out after that. I don't know if I inspired anyone. So
again, inspiration from you.
Yeah. Still, again, it's like. But if you are interested in new technologies, AI-powered stuff is getting there. You can talk to the microphone and tell that, okay, build me a header with 2 logos and navigation item on the right-hand side with these items, and it will do that. So that's a highlight from a build. 2 more things to mention from our blog list, and we can wrap up. One blog about how to run Umbraco 9 in iOS. really great tutorial. Again, in-depth information how to set it up, how to run it, how to really start with this project. And second one is a new hire, which, as you've Arnold said, your team is constantly growing. It's really hard to keep up to date with all the upgrades, but
there's not enough blog posting schedules to announce everything.
No, we're actually running out of options to post blog posts, indeed. Yeah, so there's quite a backlog currently. I think there have been over 20 hires this year already now. So
nice.
Yeah.
27, I think.
Okay.
Wow. Here, see.
So yeah, this is Alina, who joined and joined probably previously, because we've seen Alina in a couple of the publications and places already. At least I know her face and activity. And here it's the in-depth description on the new team member. And as you've said, you need to build a whole new subsection of the website when it comes to new hires. Whole separated sitemap on the site with the information about people. But this is awesome. This is great to see that this team is growing and evolving all the time. And that's all from our list. Again, it was a lot at the end of the day. Do you want to add anything else from your side? If you are here, what will be the final call to action from your side?
Yeah, well then, if you did not yet subscribe to Codegarden, please subscribe to Codegarden.
About to say the same.
I mean, I think we're now over 1,400 registrations, something like that currently.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That's quite nice. So let's see how far we can stretch this. And also, I think that, for example, the keynote, if you have end customers working with Umbraco and are a bit interested, they can really watch the keynote. I wouldn't show them everything, but I think the keynote would be very interesting for them to see what's happening, what's going on currently with Umbraco. So let them register as well. Why not?
Will the sessions be recorded and available somewhere else afterwards, or is it a you don't see it, you miss it type thing?
If you say yes, then you won't watch your live, right? So
no, of course I'll be watching live. I mean, there's some times where I'll be spoiled for choice and I won't be able to choose which session to go to.
But if you say no, we will find the technology to record them while we will be watching.
Yeah, so it's most of it should be available afterwards as well, because there's so much content that there would be a waste to not share it. I mean, the more content, the better, right?
Yeah. But you've mentioned one important thing, which was something what we also practiced in the past with our clients. It was like bring them to Codegarden, show them what they can build, what they can do with Umbraco, what others are doing. And I think this is an important point as well. It's not only us who can benefit from that. It's our clients, it's our future clients who can also see what is possible with Umbraco and what's the next parts of the Umbraco development and projects. So yeah, let's do that. I will put this on my to-do list to remind anyone else who might not see it obvious to attend.
Great, good to hear.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing it with us today. Callum shared a really nice moving Marque text here. So shout out to Rick for supporting us this week. And as usual, if you found it useful, share it to your friends, parents, colleagues, and all the people who can benefit from the content being shared in umbraCoffee. So we are always sharing the links down below the videos to let you find it all quicker and save your time. And if you will like our channel, subscribe to it. You will get the information about the next episode or episodes. So yeah, it's worth doing it. My mom is following us. So yeah, you can do that as well. And thank you guys for joining us again. Have a lovely rest of have a lovely and last week of the preparations for the Codegarden.
Lovely.
We are sending virtual hugs and the virtual energy all the time to your side. If you will need any help, shoot out. We know how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. See you at Codegarden, really.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah.
Our place.
See you. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
See you at Codegarden.
And thank you.
See you all, and thank you.
All right. Bye.